Gurathin was an augmented human. He had implants that modified his neural capacity.
What happens when the coldest, most skeptical mind on the team hides the biggest secret of all? In the Murderbot Diaries, Dr. Gurathin is a quiet, no-nonsense scientist who never quite trusts Murderbot, and for good reason. But in the new TV adaptation, his story takes a shocking turn. From cold-hearted analyst to ex-corporate spy and a man secretly in love with Mensah, the series reimagines Gurathin as a deeply conflicted character with layers the books never explored. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. In this video, we'll dive into Gurathin's full origin, how his role differs between the books and the show, and why this reluctant ally may be one of the most underrated characters in the Murderbot universe. Let's get started. Gurathin's role in the book series. In Martha Wells' The Murderbot Diaries, Gurathin is introduced in All Systems Red as part of the PreservationAux survey team. He is not the most sociable member of the group, often described by Murderbot as an asshole, but a competent and observant one. He's cautious and slow to trust, especially when it comes to rogue sec units. Unlike some of his teammates, Gurathin's family wasn't part of the original settlers who founded Preservation Station. This adds a layer of outsider status, even within a team that prides itself on cooperation and shared values. Gurathin is heavily augmented, which makes him uniquely equipped for digital investigations. This includes everything from data analysis to code decryption. During their survey mission on a remote planet, the team encounters hostility, not just from the environment, but also from corporate sabotage. Gurathin and Pinley uncover data manipulation. Critical sections of their planetary information are missing, which could have prevented the team from walking into danger. They suspect corporate interference, specifically from Gurathins, a powerful and shady company. Gurathin isn't afraid to confront what he perceives as a threat. When he discovers that Murderbot has a hacked governor module, meaning it can override its programming, he immediately argues for immobilizing it. While some of the team, like Volescu and Pinley, defend Murderbot's actions, Gurathin remains cautious. He knows what advanced AI is capable of and isn't about to take any chances. Ironically, this initial mistrust becomes the foundation for a complex, almost grudging respect. As the story progresses through later novellas like Exit Strategy and Fugitive Telemetry, Gurathin's relationship with Murderbot changes. He helps save Murderbot's life, works side by side with it on dangerous missions, and becomes one of the few people whose disapproval Murderbot can't entirely brush off.
Please!
I don't like you.
Gurathin's evolving bond with Murderbot. The books portray Gurathin as a realist. He doesn't give people, or robots, the benefit of the doubt without evidence, but once that trust is earned, he is willing to fight for it. In Exit Strategy, when the team tries to rescue Dr. Mensah after she's kidnapped by Gurathins, Gurathin steps up. He helps secure a docking route, navigates political red tape, and physically assists in the rescue mission. At one critical moment, when Murderbot is about to be killed by a hostile combat sec unit, Gurathin opens a secured door just in time to save it. That moment becomes symbolic. Gurathin may never fully understand Murderbot, but he recognizes it as a person, not just a machine. Later in Fugitive Telemetry, Gurathin supports Murderbot in a murder investigation aboard Preservation Station. He grumbles, he critiques, but he helps. He's become a trusted member of the team, not because he's agreeable, but because he's consistent and intelligent. Even Murderbot, who doesn't exactly enjoy human company, comes to tolerate him. And perhaps more than anyone else, Gurathin sees through Murderbot's defenses, its sarcasm, its deflections, and its insistence that it doesn't care. That alone makes him unique.
Mensah. Oh, thank goodness. Oh no.
Personality and behavior in the books. Gurathin is consistently described as quiet, curt, and intensely focused. He isn't friendly in the traditional sense, but he isn't cold either. He just doesn't waste energy on social niceties. He's the kind of person who would rather solve a problem than talk about it. He's also deeply analytical. While other team members take Murderbot's loyalty at face value, Gurathin insists on testing its limits. He challenges its decisions, often pointing out when a plan doesn't make sense or carries unnecessary risk. And while this rubs Murderbot the wrong way, it's also part of why he becomes a valuable team member. His loyalty isn't loud, but it's solid. When Mensah is kidnapped, he doesn't hesitate to risk his life for her. And when Murderbot is in danger, he doesn't let past distrust get in the way of doing what's right.
What is all this data?
Do you mind?
No problem.
Gurathin in the TV series. Now let's talk about how the TV adaptation reimagines Gurathin. Portrayed by David Dastmalchian, Gurathin is still an augmented human, and his core traits, skepticism, intelligence, and emotional restraint, remain. But the TV series adds entirely new layers to his backstory and motivations. In Episode 2, Gurathin begins testing Murderbot's boundaries. He demands eye contact, criticizes its emotional detachment, and warns the team about trusting a sec unit with such a violent past. This version of Gurathin seems harsher and more confrontational, but not without reason. Later episodes reveal why. In Episode 7, a flashback reveals that Gurathin was once a spy for the company, the same corporation that manufactured and enslaved sec units like Murderbot. His job was to infiltrate PreservationAux and feed intelligence back to the corporation. But something changed. Over time, he developed feelings for Dr. Mensah and grew disillusioned with corporate life. Eventually, his guilt outweighed his duty. He confessed to Mensah, who forgave him, and decided to stay with the preservation team. That choice, to abandon his role as a corporate spy and embrace a life of transparency, becomes a cornerstone of his character. This twist is entirely new and doesn't appear in the books. The word spy is never associated with Gurathin in All Systems Red, but in the show, it redefines his entire arc. Suddenly, his mistrust of Murderbot isn't just about security, it's personal. He sees himself in the CCI unit, someone with a dangerous past, struggling to move forward. He knows how easy it is to betray, because he's done it himself.
Can't risk it. At least according to our new best friend.
Gurathin's love for Mensah. Another major addition from the show is Gurathin's unrequited love for Dr. Mensah. It's revealed in subtle moments, his lingering looks, his quiet concern. But the most telling moment comes when Murderbot catches him entering Mensah's quarters and smelling her pillow. It's a strange, unsettling moment, but it underscores how deeply Gurathin is affected by his feelings. This layer of romantic tension doesn't exist in the books. In fact, the book version of Gurathin doesn't express any romantic interest in anyone. By adding this emotional depth, the TV series reframes Gurathin not just as a rational skeptic, but as a man burdened by guilt, love, and inner conflict. He isn't just wary of Murderbot, he's wary of himself. This contrast between the cold, calculating scientist and the emotionally conflicted ex-spy turns Gurathin into a tragic figure. It also makes his eventual loyalty to PreservationAux and his defense of Murderbot feel all the more redemptive.
I think that...
It's time to leave.
Oh, come on.
We should leave.
Book Gurathin versus TV Gurathin. So how do the two versions compare? In the books, Gurathin is a loner, skeptical of AI, but ultimately fair. His mistrust of Murderbot is rooted in logic, not fear or emotion. He changes over time because he sees evidence that Murderbot is more than its programming. In the TV series, Gurathin begins in a similar place, but carries a darker past. He's a former spy who almost betrayed the people he now works with. His initial mistrust of Murderbot is tied directly to his own shame and self-awareness. He knows what it's like to deceive others, and he projects that suspicion onto the sec unit. The addition of his unrequited love for Mensah in the TV series further complicates his motivations. It gives his loyalty a bittersweet tone and makes his arc feel more emotional. In contrast, the books keep his loyalty more professional, rooted in shared experience and respect rather than romantic longing. Both versions of Gurathin enrich the Murderbot universe, but in very different ways. The books keep him grounded, realistic, and pragmatic, while the show leans into drama, secrets, and internal conflict.
I feel something's wrong. Stay calm.
Our Nerdy Thoughts Dr. Gurathin may not be the fan favorite that Murderbot or Mensah is, but his presence is crucial to the heart of the Murderbot Diaries. He represents reason, skepticism, and the slow journey toward trust. And in the TV series, his backstory adds a layer of intrigue and emotional tension that deepens the themes of redemption, loyalty, and self-forgiveness. Whether he's a cold scientist with a sharp mind or a conflicted ex-spy searching for redemption, Gurathin is one of the most nuanced characters in the Murderbot universe. And he deserves every bit of attention. Gurathin might not be the loudest voice in the room, but his quiet presence carries weight, whether it's challenging Murderbot and risking everything for Mensah, or wrestling with a past that refuses to let him go. In the books, he's a sharp, skeptical mind with a hidden sense of loyalty. In the TV series, he's a reformed spy, haunted by guilt and unspoken love. Two versions, one unforgettable character. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Gurathin's evolution, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more character breakdowns and sci-fi deep dives. Got thoughts on which version of Gurathin you prefer? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your take. Thanks for watching. And until next time, stay curious and stay human, or not.
Fortunately, fate intervened.